my moonwalk. I thought I would moonwalk in like they did in the 80s. Didn't people do that everywhere in the 80s? Hey guys, it's Allie. Welcome to another Time Travel Tuesday, where we combine tingles and nostalgia, as decided by you fine people. So, as you might have noticed, I kind of look like an extra in the movie Heathers right now, and that is your fault, because on last week's Time Travel Tuesday, I asked you guys to tell me your favorite nostalgic fashion trend, and I also said that the winning fashion trend, whichever decade that was from, I would pick a hairstyle from that decade and humiliate myself for you guys. I'm just kidding, I'm not humiliated, this is fun. So that's why all of this. So, as may be obvious to you at this point, the winner of the vote was from the 1980s. So, number 5 in the votes was Jellies, which were those wheeled sneakers, I think, which every dumb kid in my middle school had, and which made them a danger to themselves and others, as they would just like whiz down the hall and like knock over teachers and students and custodial staff. And number 4 were those light up sneakers that we all had, most of us had. I think a popular brand of those that was listed was LA Lights. And number 3 were bell bottoms or flares. Number 2, overalls. And number 1, jellies, jelly shoes. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, because I thought it too. I thought that jellies were a 90s fad, but that's because I never spent any time in the 80s, because I was born in the 90s. And as it turns out, jellies were originally made popular in the 80s. So I know that this video is super late. I'm really sorry to keep you guys waiting for this one. My moving process has been really nuts this week. As some of you may know, I'm in the middle of a move and it's a really big transition and it's taking a while. So everything's been really hectic and thrown my schedule kind of upside down. So I'm sorry to keep you waiting. But the good news is that I do finally have a set move-in date for next week. And after that, everything's gonna just die down and go back to normal. And no more craziness, no more transition. So I'm really looking forward to just getting settled. And I'm also really excited to show you guys, like give you a little tour of my new kind of studio space that I'll have in the new apartment. That's gonna be awesome. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. So Time Travel Tuesday next week. Normal vote, no theme or anything. Just your favorite piece of nostalgia from any era, any decade. So, what I have for you today, I found some jellies at the shoe store. You're probably thinking, Allie, that looks like a teeny tiny box for teeny tiny people. And you're right. This is a box for tiny shoes for tiny people, because they're kids' shoes. The reason I have kids' shoes is that I couldn't find any adult jellies that weren't like designer, and that's not happening. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna share these with you. And tell you everything that I know about jelly shoes. Here we go. And smell like plastic. I'm gonna switch shots here in a minute and show these to you kind of up close. And tell you all my interesting facts about what I could find out about jellies. There's not tons to tell, but it's vaguely interesting. And because I didn't want to just only share these, I thought, what else could I share in a video about jellies? Gotta fix my bangs. So I got some jelly beans. Yes, these are Harry Potter Birdie Bots every flavor beans. No, that doesn't really have anything to do with jelly shoes or the 80s, really, per se. But I thought, jellies, jelly beans. Now I thought it would be fun to kind of sample some of these for you guys. And then I thought, well, if I'm gonna get jelly beans, I might as well be adventurous about it. And as many of you are aware, the Birdie Bots every flavor beans come in every flavor. So there are some pretty adventurous ones in here. I'll read some to you. We've got banana, cherry, cinnamon, marshmallow, sausage, lemon, booger, dirt, soap, tutti frutti, candy floss, blueberry, vomit, rotten egg, earwax, etc. So I thought these would be fun. You guys can experience in real time the awful experience of eating a vomit flavored jelly bean. No, I'm gonna avoid those. They have a little guide on the back, so I'm gonna avoid that. Okay, so marvel for another minute at this freaking masterpiece. And then I'm gonna switch shots and tell you everything that I know about jelly shoes. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys. Now it's time for me to tell you everything that I know about jelly shoes and also share with you some fun items. So, as I mentioned, these are indeed kids' jelly shoes, which is fine because this is supposed to be kind of nostalgic. This is how many of us remember them anyway, being about this size. can see they're clear and sparkly, which is my favorite kind. Although I think I had pink ones when I was a kid. Okay. So, jelly shoes are shoes that are not made of jelly, even though you might think that they are from the name. But of course, it is somewhat of a misnomer because they're not jelly, but they kind of look. They have sort of a gel-like appearance because of their makeup. But they're actually made of plastic. A special kind of plastic. Now, how jelly shoes originated isn't exactly super clear, but some people think that they were designed in France following World War II because leather for shoes was in very short supply, so people started making shoes from plastic, which was easier to come by. So that might be true. That's one version of where they came from, but it's not really known exactly when the first plastic shoe was made. But the way they became popularized in the United States was that in 1981, a man named Preston Hogg, that's H-A-A-G, Hogg, quit his job. And at the time, he was working as the president of a bank, but he quit because he wanted to find a new career, something different. And I think he wanted to do something that could involve his family, so a family business kind of thing. Now, he had a certain level of expertise in import and export. So, he decided to go to South America and find out what was and wasn't being traded with the US at the time. So he started visiting with American ambassadors in South America. And at some point in his travels, he was in Brazil, and he saw all these young women wearing brightly colored plastic shoes. He started to ask around, and then he found out that they were being manufactured by a company that I believe is called Grindine. I may be saying that completely wrong. Please correct me if you know the proper pronunciation. But Grindine was a small company in a city in Brazil. The population of that city is around 10,000 people. And of those 10,000, 3,000 or so were employed by that company. I like that noise. I wanted to share it with you. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of people in that little town were workers at that company where the shoes were manufactured. So Preston Hogg struck a deal with the company to distribute those shoes in the United States, kind of in the southeastern region, I believe, of the United States. And they named that sort of company, the distribution company, they named it Grenda. Spelled Grendha, which sort of combines Grendine with Hog. Grendine is still around today. I really feel like I'm not saying that right. Grendene. Oh well. Maybe they're still around today. And so is Grenda, I believe. So after the deal was struck, the Hogg family purchased space at the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee. And that was where they first debuted the Jelly shoe. After that, the company kind of took off, but they didn't get their big break until February of 1983. And that happened at a shoe convention that was held in Chicago, where a woman by the name of Doris Johansson saw the shoes, and Doris Johansson worked for Bloomingdale's in New York City, which was a very popular department store, very trendy. And she saw the shoes and thought that they would be a good fit at Bloomingdale's. these are made is pretty interesting. And also fairly straightforward. So maybe it's not that interesting, but I find it interesting. They're made from, most commonly made from PVC, which stands for polyvinyl chloride. Which is a pretty common plasticized material. It's used for lots of things, all kinds of things, in all different kinds of industries. And it's pretty affordable. Now, PVC, or polyvinyl chloride, can be formulated in lots of different ways, with lots of different things added to it to make it do different things. And it can be made to be very, very rigid or very flexible. It's pretty cheap to make PVC, and the things that are made from it tend to be pretty long-lasting and easy to take care of and clean. Which, I suppose you could argue, makes it a good material out of which to make shoes. But then again, you might also argue that plastic is never a good material out of which to make shoes. But that would just be one opinion. So, in order to make the jelly shoes, the machinists use what are called CNC machines, and that stands for computer numerical control. Computer numerical control. So they use these CNC machines to shape out molds to make the shoes with. And then the PVC resin is forced into the molds to make the shoe. They also put in a lot of additives in order to adjust lots of things, adjust the texture of the shoe, the color. For instance, glitter, sparkles, that's one very common additive in jelly shoes, as you can see here. Additives that affect how clear or opaque the plastic is, disruptives that affect how rigid or flexible it is. And that process is known as injection molding. That's basically how jelly shoes are made. It's actually pretty simple and straightforward. There's a little Velcro strap right here. I won't pull it up because the sound will probably be a little too harsh, but I can just scratch on this exposed part a little bit. So, as I mentioned earlier, jellies have gone through many phases of popularity and not so popularity, but they always seem to come back. Originally they were big in the 80s, and then they had a comeback in the 90s, which is when I remember them. And then in the early 2000s there was a surge again, and they're even sort of back in vogue now. You can buy them for children, obviously, at a reasonable cost, and for adults at an unreasonable cost, considering that they're made of plastic. Now, I'm sure you can get them for a reasonable price for adults too. I just didn't find any in my area. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm gonna try out some of my jelly beans. Jelly shoes, jelly beans. I don't know if I'm gonna open all of those boxes. At least do one. If you want to know where to get these, I think, well, I got them at a bookstore. Barnes & Noble had them. So, you might find them there. Okay. These are insane. If you've never had them before, it's really interesting how they really get the flavors pretty accurate. It's a little upsetting, actually, when you think too hard about it. I'll need to read up on how they get the flavors so accurate, so I can sleep better at night. This is a cute little box, though. Nice little stars on it. Oh god, okay. I'm in for it now. Here we go. gonna keep a box next to me as a guide. To help me in this terrifying activity. I'm fine with all of them, almost all of them. I just really, really want to avoid the vomit flavored one. Oh, God help me if I get that one. It's got a pretty distinct color to it, though. So I'm gonna be a wimp and I'm gonna avoid this one. That's just too gross. Jelly shoes, although very, very popular, are also kind of known for some of their less desirable qualities. One of them being that their comfortability is debatable. Some people claim that they're very comfortable, while others maintain that they give terrible blisters. Really terrible blisters, which are unavoidable unless you're wearing socks. I can't remember having blisters, but it was also a very long time ago that I wore my jellies. One of the other major problems with jellies were that they tended to cause a pretty awful odor, foot odor, and that was pretty much unavoidable because it's just plastic and sweat. So that's hilarious. So yeah, those were some of the major issues. One of my favorite movies is The Big Lebowski, starring the incomparable Jeff Bridges, who's awesome. And Jeff Bridges' character is known as the Dude. And he, throughout the film, wears a pair of clear jellies, almost identical to these, except I think possibly without the glitter. Okay, I'm going to try a jelly bean now. I'm going to stick with something safe at first to work my way up. Let's try blueberry. Here's a blueberry flavored jelly bean. It's delicious. Nothing scary about blueberry. Now let's try watermelon.
Okay. Watermelon tasted great too. Now it's time for me to get adventurous. And let's go for, how about grass? A little different, not too crazy. Here we go. Okay, well, that definitely tasted like grass. But it was also kind of sweet. So maybe it was sort of like having a salad.
Okay. Well, I have been skirting around trying some of these really, really terrible flavors. But the time has come to be brave and take one for the team. And try something adventurous. Ugh, okay. So, let's see. I think I will try a let's see, that's really gross. Let's go for earthworm. Oh my god. I really don't want to. Okay. I think that this one is the earthworm flavor. It looks like the box. Yep, that's it. I'm hoping this tastes just like dirt or something. I can't imagine what an actual worm would taste like. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, wow. Oh, gross. It tasted like fertilizer. Okay, it's over. It's over now. Okay, the next one is, let's see, I'll try. Oh god, I don't want to. Let's do rotten egg. Oh my god, I really don't want to do this. Okay, this one is the rotten egg flavor. Now, I've never eaten a rotten egg before, so I don't know how accurate this will be, but I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh god. Oh wow, it is so bad. Oh god, oh god, oh god. So bad, so bad. Oh man. Okay, I gotta have a normal one to get that out of my mouth. Ugh. Okay, let's do this one. This looks like cinnamon. Oh. Wow. That was truly terrible. Oh, so gross. I think that possibly half of the experience of eating these things is the mental aspect to it, because when you think of an earthworm when you're eating one of these, it's probably going to be worse than if you're thinking of, I don't know, something normal. pretty terrible though. Okay, let's try this blue one. This is soap flavored. Here we go. Okay. Tastes like pine sol. Or how I imagine pine sol would taste. Kind of tastes more like how soap smells than how soap tastes, because I've tasted soap by accident, as I'm sure many people have. And this tastes more like candy than anything. It doesn't have that chemical taste that soap has, but it definitely tastes the way soap smells. It's kind of citrusy, sort of. Okay, I'm gonna take a break from eating these for a minute. Recover. So, my memories of jelly shoes. I actually don't remember owning a pair that looked like this. Mine were little pink flat ballet slipper type, and they were see-through and pink with lots of glitter. And I loved them. I wore them all the time. I was really little. They made me feel like, I don't know, princess or something. I felt really pretty and special when I got to wear them. Well, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this week's Time Travel Tuesday. I hope that you found it interesting and nostalgic, and perhaps a little disgusting, as I have. Don't forget to leave your votes for next week's Time Travel Tuesday in the comments below.
Remember, there is no theme. It's just an open vote. So it can be anything nostalgic from any time period or any decade. And I'll be seeing you guys again very soon. But until then, sweet dreams.